Buddhism is actually a rather amorphous principle that could be considered a religion and in other ways really isn't a religion. In particular, most Buddhist doctrines mention Buddhist teachings as something along the lines of, "These are truths that the Buddha found, but believe as you wish." In Buddhism you're perfectly free to dispute whatever you wish and believe how much ever you wish. Whether or not you choose to call yourself a Buddhist is also a personal choice, not determined based on any criteria or vows. As such, it's very difficult to know how popular Buddhism is. There are a lot of people out there in the world and Asia especially, like myself, who have read and learned from the Buddha's teachings but don't particularly worship the Buddha on a regular basis or expressly call ourselves Buddhists. As for me, I see the Buddha as a great philosopher of human history. I read his teachings much like I would those of Confucius or Socrates or Spinoza. Does that make me a Buddhist? A Confucianist? A Socratian? None of the above? All of the above? I don't know. You decide. I'm definitely not accounted for in any surveys asking about religion, as I've never claimed to be Buddhist myself, but the Buddhist philosophies have indeed changed my perspective on life and influenced the way I live. I would say there is a sizable fraction of Asia which falls under a similar category as me. Others, such as certain sects of Hinduism I believe, consider the Buddha to have been a past avatar of God, and categorize Buddhism as a part of Hinduism itself rather than a religion of its own. Buddhism is also not exclusive in the sense that the Buddha never said you could not believe in religion or another religion. Buddhism in its pure form does not discuss God or gods and focuses 99% on how to live your life on earth. Buddhism, interpreted as a non-religion, could even philosophically supplement other religions. I've met people who believe in Christianity as a religion and Buddhism as a philosophy at the same time, who claim to be Christian and claim Buddhism to not be a religion at all and has no conflict with Christianity. I've also met Islamic Buddhists, Taoist Buddhists and various other combinations as well, with similar personally derived interpretations. This is fairly common among multiracial children in Southeast Asia. This is in great contrast to Christianity, where there is a much more of a dividing line between a follower and a non-follower, making it easier to survey and derive statistics of Christianity. If Christianity really was as defined above, it would truly be a wonder why it is so popular while Buddhism languishes as the fourth most popular world religion. Luckily, Christianity is a far cry from mere guilt-tripping control and eternal doom in hell preaching. That said, the above misconception is not without its validity. There are wayward churches and religious leaders that have distorted the simple message of Christ almost beyond comprehension. But, living in a Buddhist country and having spent a lot of time in other Buddhist countries, I can say that I have met annoying, fundamentalist Buddhists. They are out there. It is not, however, because they are Buddhist or Christian, but rather sometimes annoying fundamentalist people adopt certain ideologies like Buddhist or Christianity. Still, your question stands. But, contrary to the subtexted implications, it is more of a historical question rather than a doctrinal one. Although Buddhism had a nearly 500-plus-year jump on Christianity, it never had its Roman Empire, it never had its Constantine. Ashoka, in the 3rd century BC, did send out Buddhist emissaries which contributed a lot to the spreading of the Dharma, but in the end Buddhism suffered a tremendous blow by Islamic Mughal invaders starting in the 7th century. A resurgence in Hindu thought and practice also retarded the growth of Buddhism. Meanwhile, Christianity enjoyed exceptional growth through political conquest, economic development, and missionary activity. As to why Buddhism isn't more popular in the West, I get the sense that Buddhism is not quite yet seen as a truly international religion. It is still too closely associated with the East, reserved only for scholars and hippies, New Agers and wannabe Asians. Western Buddhist practitioners who insist on dressing in Asian garb certainly don't help the matter at all either. And with the growing economic influence and political ascendancy of the East, I surmise that Westerners are viewing Asian ideologies even more suspect than before. Also, and this correlates to the boost history provided, many Christian churches have a very sophisticated network involving elementary, secondary schools, hospitals, universities, social welfare programs, politicians, entertainment centers, child care services, a massive music media network, TV channels, clothing lines, summer camps, rehab clinics, not to mention Tom Hanks and Chuck Norris. Comparatively, Buddhism has scant infrastructure, and Richard Gere and Steven Seagal, not exactly glowing ambassadors to bolster Westerners' confidence. Lastly, I second everything Amar Ali wrote. Buddhists have less money for self-promotion, their core teachings severely clash with Western capitalism, then again, so do the teachings of Jesus, but that is another point altogether. Buddhism is work-based salvation, rather than faith-based, and any close reading of the Eightfold Path or 5 precepts, or 8 or 10, depending on your school of Buddhism, will quickly illuminate the challenges of practicing the Buddhist Dharma.